it's Austin. It is June 5th, 2014, and I am 5 hours on T. Isn't that exciting? This morning I got my first ever testosterone shot. So that is really big and momentous for sure. So I think I'll just tell a little bit about what the experience was like and how I feel mentally at this point. I feel good in general. So the experience was good. I went to my doctor's office in the morning. Like, it's a big place, like a big building with a lot of doctors. Like, it's like a gigantic medical group, you know, with all kinds of different doctors. So I went there and I didn't see the doctor, but her nurse did the shot. It was really quick, except that I had to wait in the waiting room for a long time. Like, I just went in there in the room and the nurse was like, alright, so, yeah, so it's going in there. Which I knew. It didn't really occur to me till yesterday that, oh, I would have to show my butt. So she's like, so, you know, come over here. So I, showed my butt, and she showed me the needle a moment before that, and I've known for a long time that the needle for injecting testosterone is really thick because the testosterone is in oil, and you need a thick needle for that thick substance to go through. So I was pretty afraid of getting this injection because, like, when I get blood drawn from my arm, that hurts. When I get a TB test, which I have to get for work every so often, like in my arm, that hurts. When I get an immunization, like a tetanus shot, like in my arm, that really hurts. So I was like, this is gonna be bad. So she showed me the thick needle. I was like, And then, so I was like bracing myself and trying not to put any weight on my left leg because she did the shot in my left glutes. And like, she did the injection, she put the needle in, and like, I definitely felt a poke, obviously, but it wasn't bad. And like, she was like, you know, putting the stuff in there, like injecting it. And I was like, I even said aloud, like, whoa, that doesn't really hurt. I can't even feel it that much. Like, that's kind of anticlimactic. That's not bad at all. So I was very surprised that I would not characterize that as painful. I mean, there's a poke, but like, not bad. And I'm sure that probably some of that is because the nurse is very experienced. Like, when I get to the point of doing it myself, I could see how perhaps it could hurt more. But it could hurt more than that, and I would still be fine, because it was not bad. So, I don't know. Well, we'll see how it goes in the future. So yeah, she just put a Band-Aid on, and then it was like, bye. And she told me that I had to wait in the waiting room again for like 20 minutes just in case I had a bad reaction because it's my first shot. But it was fine. So then I went to the gym and I was a little nervous, like, oh, what if my butt muscle is gonna be like really sore? But it isn't, at least at this point. I did kind of a light workout, at least in terms of lower body, but I felt fine. So anyway, yeah, I'm gonna have the shots once a week because I've heard way too many stories from trans guys who have had the shot once every 2 weeks, and they have such a low in the couple of days right before the shot, and it's like, I do not want to deal with that. Like, I want to be done with hormonal mood swings. Done. So I'm doing it every week, and today I got an injection of 100. I don't know what the units are actually, but it's 100 units of testosterone. So that's the plan. We'll see how it goes. So I've been feeling fine. I mean, obviously I don't feel different because it's only 5 hours. When I used to, like in the past, like before I got to this point myself, I would, of course, watch tons of guys' transition videos on YouTube, which I still do. And back then I was like, why does everybody make a video, like, talking in great detail about how they feel, like, on the first day that they get their shot? Because you're not gonna feel that different. It's kind of absurd to talk about how you're feeling. But, there's so much anticipation, and you're so eager for changes that, obviously I understand why a lot of us want to make a video on the first day, saying silly things like, well, I'm tired, but I think that's because I didn't get enough sleep, probably, which is the case for me right now. I feel tired. That's really it. I was feeling lightheaded when I got the shot and for a while after, but that's because of nervousness, just because it's such a big deal. And I may have been, like, not breathing enough for a while, like when I was getting the shot, so, yeah. Let's see, what else did I want to say? So I've had some different feelings just mentally, not, like, physically because of the testosterone's effects, but just because of the idea of having my shot. So, like, for example, I feel more, kind of more like a real guy in a sense. Like, I was at the grocery store and I was gonna use the bathroom, and I've been using men's restrooms for like at least a few months now, just because I've never had a problem doing that, whereas when I used to use the women's public restrooms, I would have a problem like every time in terms of getting a weird look or people saying something to me. So it's been 100% easier to use the men's restroom, and it feels so fitting. So anyway, so I was going to use the restroom, and I was like, in my head, I was like, of course I'm using the men's restroom, like, because I just feel like a legit guy now, and it would be so weird and unfitting to use the women's restroom. Which is kind of how I have been feeling, but it was like really accentuated today. And that feels cool to me, to feel more like legit. But then at the same time, I think it's problematic because I think anybody should be able to feel legit as their identity, regardless of whether they've done a medical intervention or not. So I think it's problematic, but at the same time just interesting and feels kind of good, I guess. I'm gonna call my brother in a minute, and I often have to leave him a message because he's often not home. So, like, up until this point, I've always still been saying, "Hi, it's Allison," instead of Austin. But now, today, I've been thinking about that in advance, and I'm like, it just seems so weird to say Allison now. Like, even though I have never before said to my brother, like, "Oh, hi, it's Austin." But I feel like if this trend continues, like, as the days and weeks go by, I'm gonna get, like, way more sort of urgent about being called what I want to be called. So that's sort of a slightly new development. Well, that's probably about it, except that I'm just excited. I feel positive. Um, like when I was sitting in the waiting room before getting the shot, I was thinking to myself, like, this is a big thing. Well, not like the first shot in itself is gonna really cause any changes. So, like, I could just get this shot, and if I wanted to, I could never get any more shots. That's an option. I mean, I think I'm gonna get more shots, but I'm just saying it's an option. So I was thinking to myself, like, well, despite that fact that one shot is not gonna make changes, it's still a big deal, and I could, like, back out if I want to. I could just leave the office, walk to my car right now. I can totally do that. I'm free to do that. But as I was sitting there, I thought to myself, like, I don't want to. I have no urge to leave. Like, I don't really feel like I have doubt or confusion right now about getting the shot. I want to do it. I feel positive about it. So that was a great feeling after all of the, like, back and forth and ambivalence I've had over so many years about this stuff. So that was refreshing. Yeah, I feel ready. And if I feel like if I had tried to do this sooner when I didn't truly feel ready, it just wouldn't have been good. It would have been too stressful and anxiety provoking. So I'm glad that I'm doing it now, as opposed to earlier when I didn't, like, truly feel ready. So, yeah, I guess that's about it. There you go. I'll talk to you later. Bye.